Hey, welcome back to On This Day. Today's date, January 6th. It is the 16th day of winter, and there are 74 days left until spring. It's also Epiphany Day. I never heard of Epiphany Day until I researched today's date, but it's a Christian holiday that marks the day the three kings visited Jesus. Now, they're called three kings. When I was growing up at a Catholic school, they called them the three wise men. Don't know when they turned into kings, of how they got promoted, but I guess it happened. They brought gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The gold is great, still is today. I'm sure frankincense and myrrh were really bitchin' back then too, but I think if you showed up at the Messiah's birthday party with them these days, you might get thrown out and told not to come back until you have a sizable Target gift card. Jesus needs diapers. So let's take a look at January 6th. 1781, in the Battle of Jersey, the British defeat the last attempt by France to invade Jersey in the Channel Islands. Now, it's not New Jersey and it's not the Channel Islands in California. Jersey is an island owned by the English a couple miles off the shore of Normandy, France. The Battle of Jersey was an attempt by France to invade Jersey and remove the threat the island posed to French and American shipping. Okay, so basically the English and a bunch of pirates were living there and they were raiding ships and stuff like that. And France at the time was addicted to our beavers. I mean pelts, not anything weird. The French invasion ultimately failed. 1839. The night of the big winds, the most damaging storm in 300 years. This was a powerful European windstorm that swept across Ireland beginning on the afternoon of January 6, 1839. It caused severe damage to property and several hundred deaths. About 20 to 25% of the houses in northern Dublin were damaged or destroyed. The winds wrecked 42 ships. Seeing that this happened on Epiphany Day, the very religious Irish thought it was God sending them a message. Other Irish just thought it was a really bad hangover. 1893, the Washington National Cathedral is chartered by Congress. The charter was signed by then-President Benjamin Harrison. 1907, Maria Montessori opens her first school and daycare center for working-class children in Rome, Italy. 75 years later, Southern California housewives start bragging about their kids being accepted to a Montessori daycare like they just got into Harvard. 1912, New Mexico is admitted into the Union as the 47th state, and that was pretty much the high point for this state to this date. 1941, U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt delivers his Four Freedoms speech at the State of the Union address. He proposes 4 basic freedoms that people everywhere in the world should enjoy. Freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. Almost 80 years later, we're still struggling with some of those. 1947, Pan American Airlines becomes the first commercial airlines to offer an around-the-world ticket. I hope it makes some stops. Doesn't seem like a lot of fun just going around the entire planet in a plane. They gotta be stopping someplace. 1951, the Korean War. The beginning of the Gangwon massacre, an estimated 200 to 1,300 South Korean communist sympathizers are executed by South Korean military, South Korean police, and South Korean militia. 1974, in response to the 1973 oil crisis, daylight savings time commences nearly 4 months early in the United States. I don't remember that one, but I'm sure it was a mess. 1994, Nancy Kerrigan gets whacked on the knee from an assailant who was paid to break her leg by rival Tonya Harding's husband. This was insane when it first came out. You know, when people are putting hit jobs on other people in figure skating, what does the world come to? What's next? Jack from Jack in the Box and Ronald McDonald having a death match on the UFC or something? The world's crazy. 1995, a chemical fire in an apartment complex in Manila, the Philippines, leads to the discovery of plans of a mass terror attack. 2017, Tilikum, a killer whale which was held in captivity for 33 years by Sealand in British Columbia and SeaWorld in Orlando, dies. Tilikum died due to a bacterial infection at the age of 35. In the wild, orcas can live up to 100 years. However, in captivity, in places like SeaWorld, their life expectancy is around 14 years. Tilikum was the orca that killed the trainer in front of an audience some years back. If you've never seen the 2013 documentary Blackfish, you should. It'll change your view on SeaWorld. When I was a kid, I always thought they were rude because they sold fish sticks at SeaWorld. I thought that was wrong. It just seemed weird to me. Then I saw the movie Blackfish and I realized they were far worse than I ever could have imagined. Born on January 6th. 1912, Danny Thomas, American actor, comedian, producer, and humanitarian. He also founded St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. He was born. 1969, Norman Reedus from Walking Dead turns 51 today. 1984, Kate McKinnon, my favorite current SNL cast member, was born. Died on January 6th, 1852, Louis Braille, French educator and inventor of Braille, dies at the age of 43 due to persistent respiratory illness, which is now believed he had tuberculosis. They didn't know what to call it back then. They have Braille at the drive-up ATM at my bank, and I still don't know why. 1919, Theodore Roosevelt, American colonel and politician, the 26th president of the United States, dies at the age of 60 due to a blood clot detaching, then traveled to his lungs. 2006, Lou Rawls, American singer-songwriter, dies. Alright, so that's January 6th. Hope you guys got some information out of it. Hope it was enjoyable. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.